Thursday night football, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the road to take on the Baltimore Ravens in an AFC North showdown. My best bets are on the way in this video. One player prop, we got a same game parlay, and then of course I'll talk about who I think wins and covers in this game. If you are new, my name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, we start with a recap, how we did the previous week betting the NFL. Decent week for us. Could have certainly been much better. A 9-6 overall week. We made money on Thursday and Monday Night Football, but kind of faltered on Sunday. Had some bad breaks and some bad reads not go our way. Kind of been break even the last 2 weeks. I'm hopefully we're getting out of that little slump and we're into a hot streak. And I know it's going to come. Hopefully it starts in week 10 and it starts on this game on Thursday Night Football. If you are new, like I said, my name's Austin. Do me a favor, go down below, like and subscribe. Let me know your favorite picks down below in the pinned comment, in the comment section down below. Curious what you guys are playing in this game. My last note is Sleeper. They have a cool offer going right now. Last month, they had that crazy offer where you got a 200% deposit match. This month, I don't know what the heck they're doing. I feel like they're losing money on this promo, but the promo is a $1,500 match. Look, I don't understand what they're doing. 100% match up to $1,500. It's nuts. I don't know what the heck they're doing. This doesn't feel like a profitable way to run a business, but I am not the one that is doing it. I'm not involved with Sleeper. They're just one of my partners. So if you want to sign up, make sure you use my code COS to get that $1,500 up to $1,500 deposit match. And they'll also toss in a Joe Burrow free square for tonight for him to get 1 yard. Again, sign up using code COS. They'll match your first deposit 100% up to $1,500. They're doubling your money. Insanity. But let's dive into the picks today. I got two of them. We'll start with the player prop, then we'll get into who I think wins and covers in this game, and then we'll end with the same game parlay. My favorite prop in this game is Chase Brown, the Cincinnati Bengals running back, over 22.5 receiving yards, minus 115 on DraftKings. I haven't taken a lot of receiving yards for running backs this season, and for good reason. I have PTSD from last year. Last year I took a Travis Etienne one. He cashed his over, fumbled it, the ball went 10 yards backwards, and that's how I lost after he hit the over. Painful. So maybe a little bit of scar tissue there, but I like Chase Brown tonight. If something like that happens again, I'm out. But let's talk about Chase Brown. I like this up to about 24.5. I don't mind his receptions, but it's a little bit juiced, and I'll talk about that in a second. Now, Chase Brown is the number one guy in this backfield for the Bengals. Zach Moss out with, I believe, a neck injury. He isn't ruled out for the season, but it's looking like that's going to be the case. They went on Tuesday at the trade deadline and traded for Khalil Herbert. He's a pretty good running back who's gotten, I believe, 2 healthy and active games with the Bears. Now, I think it'll be good long-term for the Bengals, give them some backfield depth that they obviously need. But coming into here on a short week, I don't see him playing a lot. And if he is playing, I anticipate it's more so on running back rush attempts than it is on trying to pass block or go out for routes, which probably doesn't have great connection with Joe Burrow. But in Brown's first game without Zach Moss, he was heavily featured on the ground. 27 carries, 120 yards. But the best part, 5 receptions for 37 receiving yards, which is great to see. Now, I consider doing the rushing yards and rushing plus receiving, but it's a tough spot. The Ravens have allowed the 4th fewest rush attempts. They've allowed the 2nd fewest rush yards per attempt. Not even a single running back has more than 15 rush attempts versus them. Just a tough team to run on. So I expect them, if they're going to get Chase Brown going, try to get it going in the air. And in the first matchup between these two teams, Chase Brown had 3 receptions, 8 yards. He did not do a lot in the air. But his teammate, Zach Moss, had 3 receptions for 28 yards. So obviously there still was some opportunities there. Chase Brown just couldn't break off a decent long catch in here. Maybe he can do that tonight. And like I said, it's going to be a good matchup for him. T. Higgins likely out tonight. So Jamar Chase, you'd expect him to get a lot of coverage from the Ravens secondary, especially over the top. In their first matchup, Jamar Chase, 170 receiving yards, big, I think 2 long touchdowns. So don't be surprised if Jamar Chase is going deep. They're playing a safety over the top on him. They're not going to let Jamar Chase beat him for another 70-yard touchdown. And we could see some dump offs go to the RBs. It's kind of what's happened this year. The Ravens have allowed the 4th most receiving yards to running backs. And Chase Brown just ran 26 routes. So he's running a lot of routes out there, even in a game where they were dominating the Raiders. They didn't have to pass it a ton. They still were. And I don't think they're going to have a lot of deep action besides to Jamar Chase, given T. Higgins is doubtful. Additionally, 12 running backs have 2 or more receptions against Baltimore. 9 of the 12 hit this over. Let's keep in mind, Chase Brown was one of the ones that didn't actually hit the over, so he's due. And the Ravens are also allowing 9.9 yards per reception to running back. So that's a pretty healthy number. We could get this over in 2 catches, hopefully maybe 3. There's opportunity for more than that. Like I said, Chase Brown's receptions line, 3.5 at like minus 130 or worse on most books. So they think he gets the ball 3 or 4 times out of the backfield. We just need one of those catches to go for some decent yardage. And I think he could have a couple that go for 10, 15 yards here. They could run some screen plays instead of running those, instead of running it with him, maybe some screen plays, and hopefully he can get some good blocks from his linemen. So I like Chase Brown. I like his over and receiving yards a lot tonight. And my second play, I'll save the SGP for a second. I have to talk about who I think wins and covers in this game. I don't have a great lean on who I think wins and covers this one. I think the Ravens win. I do lean the Bengals plus 6.5. I like in a divisional showdown, I'd rather take points plus 6.5 and start giving them. Winning a game at home at 7 points against a divisional rival, going to be tough. Lamar Jackson doesn't look 100%. We saw last week only 3 rush attempts. He doesn't look great. I don't see him being as dynamic running the football in this game, and maybe that kind of holds back the Ravens a little bit. Obviously, these two teams just played earlier this season, and the Bengals lost by 3. Beating a divisional team twice in the same year is obviously tough. I still think the Ravens win this one, but I think the Bengals at least keep it close at 6.5. Not my favorite lean, though. I'm not going to come out here and say it's my favorite spread pick of the weekend. We did post a video on Tuesday of every single spread and money line or total that I like this weekend. I'll link that down below. Not my favorite lean, though. As for my second pick in the video, because we're not going to track those lanes towards the record, it's going to be a 4-leg same game parlay. Last Thursday Night Football, we smacked ours. This week, we try to do it again. Here's the 4 legs that I like. The first one is Jamar Chase, 6 or more receptions. Second one, Mike Gesicki, 25 receiving yards. Third one, Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown. And this fourth one is the alt under at 69.5 total points. This is plus 166 on FanDuel, just a half unit play. So a half unit one is probably 0.8 units, not too bad. This was plus 150 on Bet365. If you don't have the ability to take alternate receptions because Jamar Chase's line is 7, heavily juiced, I would take probably just him for 40 or 50 receiving yards. But I don't like the yards as much. To talk about why. Now, Jamar Chase's 7 career games versus Baltimore, 8, 7, 7, 8, 5, 2, and 10 receptions. Obviously, I've already talked about T. Higgins is doubtful. I don't think Chase gets a ton of receiving yards here, but I think it's a similar game to what he had last week. He had 7 receptions, only 43 yards. I think it's more than 43, but again, this is going to be a spot where the Ravens are going to play. They're basically going to double him if he tries to go any route past 15 yards. However, they still find ways to get the ball to Jamar Chase, whether it's on some bubble screens or it's on some quick out routes, things like that. And he's their best wide receiver by a long shot, especially with T. Higgins doubtful, not likely to play. I like him to get those 6 receptions. I don't know how many yards that equates to. I don't care. I just think he gets 6 receptions. As for Gesicki, he's played pretty well, coming off back-to-back weeks with 73 and 100 receiving yards last week. The Ravens, 3rd most yards to tight ends this season. Gesicki only had 31 versus them in week 5. That was obviously the game Chase had, 170. T. Higgins had like 80 or 90 yards himself. Bonus is that their backup tight end, Eric All Jr., is out. He also runs routes. The other tight end, Drew Sample, doesn't really run a ton of routes. So Gesicki will be going down the field. That could take one catch and he could easily clear 25 yards. Don't hate his regular over, but that's like almost at 50 yards. I don't want to count on a tight end to get me 50. And then finally, the last leg, Derrick Henry to score a touchdown. Well, second to last leg. Henry, obviously, he's been a beast. He has a touchdown in every game this season, 9 for 9. I don't know if that continues the whole season long, but heck, I'm going to run with it. He had 1 versus Cincinnati, and they did a pretty good job stopping him in that week 5 game. As I said, Lamar Jackson still nursing that knee injury. Can't imagine he's holding the ball in the red zone. It's going to be given it to Derrick Henry. Let's hope he can punch one in from 1 yard or 50 yards out. I think he finds a way into the end zone. And then the final leg is that under 69.5. Call me crazy, but I don't think there's 70 points tonight in Thursday Night Football. Sure, you could look at the first game. They went 38-41. They had 79 points. Those teams went 8 of 9 scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Are they going to go 8 of 9 again? Probably not. The defenses will make some adjustments. The offenses are likely not going to be as good. I just don't see there being 70 points. There could hit the regular over at 52.5. 69.5, man. If there is 70 plus points in this game, I'll tip my cap, and that's how we lose. We'll lose a half unit, and I'll just honestly embrace it. It would be a pretty good game if there's 70 or more points. So I took 69.5 just because I don't want to lose on this leg. I honestly would bring it down to like 62.5 and feel pretty good, but I rather not lose on the alt under. The other 3 legs, I'm okay losing there. I don't want to lose on an alternate under just because I want to take it in there, but it does obviously boost the odds because there's some negative correlation in there because we're rooting for a Henry touchdown, but also want the alt under. So that's why I kind of took it there. Hopefully you guys understand my 2 plays in this game. 4-leg SGP for just a half unit, and then 1 unit on Chase Brown's over and receiving yards. Let's try to go 2-0. Let's try to build some momentum going into Sunday, where hopefully we can dominate and have that massive week that I know we're absolutely due for. Hopefully it starts this week with a 2-0 Thursday Night Football. Let me know your favorite picks down below. And a reminder, Sleeper still has that great offer. Like I said, I don't know how long the offer lasts for. It could only last for maybe 1 or 2 more days, but it is, you use code COS, they'll match your first deposit 100% up to $1,500, and they'll give you the Joe Burrow free square. Take advantage, code COS, link down below. Put another NFL video that you can check it out where we talk about every single game on Sunday and Monday. Go enjoy it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.